Hello everyone, Treecks here. Welcome back to Crash Bandicoot 2. We are looking at the finale today because the final boss is actually unlocked, as you can see. Even though we technically also need to grab one of the gems from Spaced Out. However, we're not going to be able to do that because the boss portal may be opened. As you can see, we have the ability to access the final boss. Apparently, whenever a boss is actually active, you're not able to go into the regular stages anymore, I have found out. So, as you can see, all of the other portals are actually non-active anymore. So this final gem that we actually need in order to get 100%, we are unfortunately going to get afterward. If I knew that beforehand, I would have actually switched those two around. But no matter, we're going to do both of them anyway. Both the final gem and the final boss. Let's go see how Dr. Neo Cortex will actually work this time around. We have arrived at this space station. Defeat Cortex before he escapes to his space station. Looks like this is a timed battle, therefore, so we need to use the jetpack, the famous little jetpack, in order to try to catch up with him. We need to make sure we actually avoid all of the rocks. That will actually fling us backwards again, of course. While avoiding obstacles, we need to go max speed and try to actually hit him. Which is pretty easy to do, in all honesty. Just because he's the final boss does not mean this is one of the harder boss fights. This is in fact one of the easier ones, especially since you cannot die in this stage. Whenever you hit one of those things, even the bombs, you actually won't die. Our reward for beating this guy is actually the speed shoes. To run faster, hold down the ZR button while running. And yes, this is the reason why you want to wait with your relics.
You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I never assumed this was going to be the last time, Cortex. However, unfortunately, we do have a pretty easy boss fight in this game.
Crash, what do you suppose happened to Cortex? And what about the Cortex Vortex? It's still up there.
Yeah, this cutscene is kind of saying, if you do not have 100%, do not have all of the gems, you are actually not done yet. Cortex may be defeated, but the space station is still here. And remember what Dr. Brio actually told us. Oh, credits we're going to skip. And that is not going to be a thing until we beat part number 3. And that is for Crash Bandicoot 3. But anyway, returning to my story, Dr. Brio actually promised us he is going to be able to stop Cortex's machine. But for that we actually need to collect all of the gems in this game. And since Space Out was actually locked out until the boss fight, we are going to be doing it now and complete the game. So, are we all ready? I've actually saved my progress. Have the footage for the final boss, so on that end nothing can go wrong anymore. Like I said last time, this second clear gem in this stage actually requires the use of all of the special gems in this game. If you're missing only a single one, we are not going to be able to reach the end here. Be prepared, this is not just going to be difficult, it is also going to be impossible if you don't have all of the special gems. This also gives us the ability to test out our new running shoes. From this point on, if we press ZR, we can actually run faster. And this is actually the whole reason why you don't want to do any of the relic runs, any of the speed runs, before you finish the game. It didn't really matter a whole lot in the first Crash Bandicoot, but it does here. Because otherwise, you're not going to be getting any relics, or in the best case, just the standard one. But that is going to be a problem for a minute or so, because first we need to complete the game 100%, if you don't mind. Let's step on the blue gem platform, and that will take us to the secret area of this stage. It is also a very popular location to farm for lives. It is not going to be per se for me, because I'm already at max lives, but whenever you are not, I've actually found out this is a pretty popular spot to grind for lives, because as you can see there's plenty of them here. Even though the platforming is not easy here. All of these pistons are positioned in a pretty painful way. There we go, we got it. And it's time for us to actually move on to the green platform, which will probably take us to the most difficult part of this stage. It's also the whole reason why I actually bothered to pick up a couple of Aku-Akus. This part is really annoying. The lasers here, as you can see, positioned in pretty difficult locations. It's usually impossible to get through here without being hit a couple of times. And I've already lost both of my Aku-Akus. Nice. Let's get onto the yellow platform. This is probably the most difficult part, so hopefully I'm going to be able to do the rest without any extra hits. The final boss we are actually allowed to get hit. But it does not apply to this stage. Now we don't have that privilege anymore. Still think it is strange that you do have the privilege in the final boss, but still. Cannot help it. They actually decided back then it was a good idea to make it ridiculously easy for some reason. The first boss fight against Cortex in Crash Bandicoot 1 was definitely a lot more difficult. But no matter, at least the stages are difficult in this game. Now, after exiting the red platform, we got another pretty tricky location. Try to jump over the switch, because otherwise you're going to get electrocuted. Don't feel like doing that. Let's try to do the same with you. No problem. Now, next platform, this should be the final one. The purple gem platform. Yeah, and it is, because here's the exit of the stage. So, with that, we actually complete the final level in the game. Even the final boss was already done, but this also needed to happen. Perhaps a good thing that we switched around, because that way we actually got the cutscene for not having 100%. Something we otherwise probably would have missed, but we do have it now. And this is what you ordered, Dr. Brio. All of the gems in this game. Now, what are you going to do with them to stop Dr. Cortex?
You have acquired all of the gems. Incredible! The crystals are not the only means of harnessing planetary energy. The gems have that ability as well. And with them, I can destroy the Cortex Vortex forever! Let me warp you to my completed laser installation.
Ooh, are we even going to be allowed to press the button? Now, if we now go onto the warping platform, it would normally bring us to other warp rooms. Even though we're already at the top, we will find out there's another up option now. If we go even further up, after acquiring all of the gems, we actually reach the 100% ending of this game. Let's go check it out.
We are ready, Crash. Would you like to do the honors?
Ooh, we indeed get the honor to press the button. After foiling Cortex himself, we now also foil his space station and his dangerous laser. Now the threat has been completely destroyed. See you in another game, Cortex. Of course he will be back. However, we are... Whoa, what the hell? Where the hell did you get thrown from, Coco? It definitely looked like you came out of nowhere. But anyway, before closing off this game, and that is something I'm not going to be doing, by the way, closing off this game. There's one more thing we actually need to take care of. And since we're only at 9 minutes in this video, I think we're immediately going to get started with the bonus content. Every single episode from this one is going to be called bonus. This one is still called finale. But even in this one we're already going to get started with bonus, because there's relics we need to collect. Also a very fun aspect in the Crash Bandicoot formula. We don't just complete stages. Here in the modern variants of these games we also need to try to do them fast. Something that is called relics. We know them from the first game. And I'm going to be covering them in the same way. I'm going to be trying to do a couple of runs in these levels until I actually get one that I'm sort of satisfied with. I'm not necessarily going to go for platinum relics. In some stages that is a little bit beyond my capabilities, I feel. But I will actually try to go for the best ones I can. We're going to be using our new running shoes. To see if we are able to beat the required time or even the time beyond that for a golden relic, or actually do the ultimate time for a platinum relic. Time to get started with Turtle Woods. It is time to get used to the fact that we now need to hold the ZR button while going through all of these levels. Because it will definitely make a very big change. Don't be in too much of a rush the moment you actually teleport into the stage. A speedrun won't start until you actually pick up the stopwatch. Remember that. From that point on, things will actually start counting. Try to watch the boxes as well during these stages, because just like in Crash Bandicoot 1, as you can see, some crates will actually change into time boxes. If we crash those, the time will freeze, depending on the number that is actually displayed on these boxes. 1 will freeze it for 1 second, a 2 for 2 seconds, and a 3 it will freeze for 3 seconds. Just remember, you're not able to cheese the stages with the Aku Akus. If you actually bring one from an earlier stage, you're not going to be able to bring it along. Aku Akus are programmed to actually disappear the moment you touch one of the stopwatches. It won't stay with you the moment you start the speedrun. But every single one you find during the stage, you are, of course, able to bring along. Yeah. And now that with the running shoes, we're actually able to jump over these mole pits. No, does not always work, of course. Also have the feeling that some of these pits are a bit bigger than others, so... Yeah! That way we actually finish the first stage. Do need to go all the way, of course. It isn't until you touch this platform that the timer stops. And apparently 49.87 is good for a golden relic in the first stage. Well, that's already a good start. I'll actually take it. Like I said, I'm not gonna go for platinum relics per se, but every single time I do get one, or a golden one, I'm still going to be satisfied, because it means I'm actually doing better than the par of that stage, you might say, to speak in golf terms. Getting a golden relic is basically a birdie. Not a par, but a birdie on Turtle Woods. But now things already start to become complicated, because we also need to do the snow stages, of course, with the slippery ice. 1 minute and 10 seconds for the regular relic. And of course, you need to do it way faster if you want to go for gold or even platinum. Now, that is something I'm going to assume I'm not able to do, but we will see how it goes. At least I was able to do Turtle Woods in one try. Not a perfect run, but good enough. Let's see how it goes here. Oh, Mr. Aku Aku. Jump here. Trying to slide around them, I found out it's a bit too difficult to do. Don't forget to hit the switch. Some of the boxes will actually be timed boxes. Still the extra hit. Actually need that. Already died twice in this part. This final part. Come on. Oh, missed the jump. Yeah, looks like I have it this time. Now still run for the end. And stop the time. 48.73. Apparently a golden relic. I'll make sure next time to actually look up the times required in order to get all of these relics, like I did last time, so I know what I'm actually aiming for. Also when it comes to the golden and platinum ones. The regular ones we can already see in game, of course, by changing the best times. We can actually see our target time. Similar as in Crash Bandicoot 1. But next time I'll actually try to look that up beforehand. Moving on to stage number 3, Hang 8. A bit less annoying than Snow Go, so hopefully I'm going to be able to do a first try again this time. And don't forget, this is also a stage where we already did a speedrun. In order to get the second clear gem in here. we actually needed to beat the in-stage timer that starts running in this stage. So we do have some experience already with speedruns in this stage. Although I can remember I actually needed multiple tries on that end too. Now we've got running shoes. It will make it even more complex to speedrun. Because we're moving way faster now. Better for our time, but of course it becomes a lot harder to control. The faster you go, the easier it is to make a mistake, of course. Oh, like this for instance. Attempt number 2. Okay, don't want to jump too far on this one. And skiing time. That was the first one. Quickly moving on to the second. Oh! I thought I was able to jump over that. Apparently not. Well, at least I know now. We're learning. Slowly, doing all of these attempts, we are learning what the best way to do this is. Jumping over that hippo is actually not the way to do this. Or perhaps you can, but you actually need a very precise jump before you're able to actually make that jump. Actually jumping on the very last pixel. Not something I'm going to try, if you don't mind. But we'll be able to skip you, I can see. Final skiing section, let's go. Whee! Right, even able to actually take one of these hits. I've got more than enough Aku-Akus. I don't care about these enemies. I'm just going to go fast. And beat the stage under a minute. And this is good for another golden relic. That makes 3 of them already. 3 silver medals. This is my Olympic performance. I'm not allowed to get any golden medals. Even though the relic is gold. But we all know here in Crash Bandicoot that is actually second prize. But I'll take it. Not too sure how far I am off the platinum score, but I also don't really want to know in all honesty. If I'm like a half second short, then perhaps I feel inclined to actually try again. Or you know what? Let's still take a little peek. I knew it! Why am I not surprised that was really short? Okay, we're not going to do that again. We're going to do the pits. And try to go for a platinum relic here. I'm starting to hate this stage in all honesty. I get really far into it every single time. And all the way at the end I start making mistakes. But I should have it now. I know how the stage works. I also know how to get over these birds now. It's also really easy to get hit by these guys actually. If you go way too fast. Alright, Aku-Aku and let's go. Taking the right pathway. I'm pretty sure that one is actually shorter. I'm not too sure about that, so correct me if I'm wrong. Please. If the left pathway is indeed faster, I want to see that back in the comments. I'm pretty sure it is not actually. At least I have the feeling that the right pathway is easier to do. Let me put it like that. That is also worth something, I guess. Alright, jump! No! Ah! Come on! Oh, stupid moles, taking way too much time. Let's try it again! Yeah! Really difficult to actually do this. Oh, got it again. Pixel perfect timing with the jumps. But you can definitely do it. And that will give me 1 minute 6 seconds. Another gold. We're getting nothing but gold relics here in World 1. How amazing. It is not the best possible prize, but it's also not the worst one. So I will take it. And also be satisfied with it. So, taking in account that I'm going to be cutting most of the failed attempts, of course, I need to guess a little bit, but I think after this stage we're going to be at around 20 minutes. You know what? And I'm actually glad that I'm really far off here. If I don't get the Platinum Relic, I also don't want to be close to it. But anyway, to finish my story, I actually think we are at 20 minutes. Also getting a bit tired now because I'm doing plenty of attempts in some of these harder stages. I'm actually going on a bit longer than you guys are going to see in the video. So I think when it comes to playing Crash today, it is going to be enough for now. Thank you all for watching. This has been the finale of Crash Bandicoot and at the same time also the beginning of its bonus content, because the first couple of speedruns were also already taken care of. Next time we'll finish off World 1. Perhaps also take a look at the secret warp room's unique stages to do the relic runs there. Treecks out.